Cheers and welcome to lesson 93 on comparative bar graphs. Comparative bar graphs can be used to display two or more sets of related data. They're also called double bar graphs, okay? There can be triple bar graphs or quadruple bar graphs. With your science fair projects, many of you have chosen to do something like this, okay? Here's an example of a double bar graph or a comparative bar graph. It says the average daily temperature in January and July for 5 cities is displayed in the comparative vertical bar graph below. So what you need to know is that bar graphs are used to compare quantities. Whenever we're comparing quantities, we're going to use a bar graph. So this question, if we look at this graph here, we've got average daily high temperatures. Over here is the temperature in Fahrenheit, and it's going up. Each of these lines represents 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And down here, we've got the different cities. And then our key over here tells us that January are the light colored ones and July are the dark colored ones. So we can compare what the daily temperatures would be in January and July of Rome and all these different cities. So we're going to use this graph to answer the following questions. In which city was the average July temperature highest? Okay, so we've got, let's see, in which city was the average July temperature? So let's look for July. Which one is highest? Good, Rome, Italy is the one that is highest. So your answer would be Rome, Italy. And how many degrees is it? Well, I'm going to bring this line all the way over here, and it looks like it's just a little below 90 degrees. So let's say that it's 89 degrees-ish. All right, the second question says, in which city was the average January high temperature lowest? So we've got January, and we want to find the one that's lowest. It looks like it's Paris, France. And for our degree, if we were to bring this line all the way over here, it's a little bit more than 40. I think it looks at about 42 degrees. Now it says, which city had the least difference between these temperatures? The least difference. That means the smallest difference between them, or the smallest range. So what would we expect? Does that mean that the bars are going to be very far apart or not far apart when we're looking for the least difference? Right, it means that they're not going to be far apart. So this has a very big range between the two. That's got a very big range. This one doesn't have, it has like a medium range. This one looks like it might be the smallest range between them. So that means that there was not a very big difference between January and July. So we're going to say the answer is Caracas, Venezuela. And now the question asks, why do you think that that might be? So let's try to come up with a reason. Think about Venezuela. What do we know about Venezuela? Where is the country located? Is it in a very warm place or not a warm place? Good, it's in a really warm place. It's actually very close to the equator. So because it's close to the equator, the temperature doesn't vary that much in the different seasons. So that is your reason why. Because it is close to the equator. All right, D. It says, for which city is the average January high temperature greater than the average July high temperature? Do you know why? So the average January temperature bigger than the average July temperature. Well, that's only true of one city in Sydney, Australia. That is true for. Why is that the case? This is also true in parts of Africa. In South Africa, where my sister lives, it is much, much warmer in January than it is in July. Why is that true? Good, because it's on the other side of the equator. So it's on the other side of the world, which means that their seasons are reversed. It means that it's really hot in the December, January, February months, and it's very cold in the August or the June, July, and August. So because it is on the opposite side of the equator. And that is all of this lesson. It's just the ability to pull out information from graphs. So I will see you tomorrow.